Can anybody see if that's actually recording? Yep, it's recording. Okay.
Hi, Tim. Can I ask you a quick question regarding this COVID situation in Helensburgh at the moment? Would it be advised not to go around to other people's houses, etc., just to limit to maybe a bit of shopping and then going home, or what's the kind of limitations? Thanks.
Well, there are no formal limitations. I think it's just around being sensible, really, and I think it just depends on particular circumstances. I think we need to be, where there's more COVID, we just simply need to be more cautious, keeping distance, wearing face coverings. So it's difficult to be really precise about it, and it will vary depending on whether people have been vaccinated or not. Most of the people who are getting infected aren't vaccinated. So it's more, I suppose the main thing is it's a recognition that we're not back to normal, and it's around keeping up with general general precautions, really washing hands well, not having too many people indoors together. So I wouldn't want to lay down rules, but it's just simply about being extra cautious and extra vigilant, really.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Ruth, are we ready to go? Martin Van good morning. Welcome. Welcome all board members, also welcome members of the public and of the press who are accessing this meeting virtually today. I'd like to notify you that the meeting has been recorded for future upload to our web, and to remind board members and participants to use the show hands facility to speak at the meeting rather than the chat function. And as you know, this is a one item board meeting. Apologies, first of all, Ruth.
Thank you, Chairman. I have an apology for this morning's meetings from Alan Wilson, but no other apologies.
Thanks, Ruth. Any declarations of conflicts of interest? Other than the fact that I live close to Bradford. Okay, we move on to the item 3 of the agenda, which is the naming of the new hospital for Skye, Lahalsh and Southwest Ross. We have a paper before us, prepared by Heather Cameron on behalf of Deborah Jones, and I'd invite, is it Deborah that's going to speak to it, or is it Heather? Okay, in that case, I think I'll speak to the paper myself. Ruth or Pam, do you want to come in on it?
Yeah, I think Deborah has just joined, so I think she'll be able to speak to it now.
Right. Morning, Deb.
Apologies, I was given a different link to join the meeting, so thanks for inviting me in. As you'll know from our previous board meeting, we need to put a process in place for the naming of the new hospital in Broadford. So this paper takes us through the process that we undertook to get to a point where an agreed name was identified. The public were invited to make suggestions for a name via post, email and Facebook over a 3-week period until the 11th of June. These suggestions were then considered by a panel of local representatives selected across the North and South Skye, Lochailshire and South West Ross at Portree on the 16th of June. The recommendation of the panel was that the hospital be named Broadford Hospital. And the panel at the time agreed with this recommendation and have put forward the recommendation for the board for ratification. You'll see on page 2 of the SBAR that Broadford was the most popular suggestion, getting 11 votes out of a total of 57 suggestions, whereas the next most popular suggestion only received 2 votes themselves. I think the rest of the paper is pretty self-explanatory, and as such I'd like to make a recommendation to the board that we accept the name Broadford Hospital for the new hospital being built in Broadford on Skye. Happy to take questions.
Okay, questions? Graham.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Yeah, thanks for that. I was interested that, not knowing the locality of Skye very well, I was wondering where the name Broadford comes from, and is there a Gaelic equivalent to the name or something? Thank you.
I'm sure there is. I'm gonna defer to our chair on this one.
There is indeed, and it's in the recommendation at the end of the paper, Graham.
Which I can't pronounce. Sorry.
Broadford is a village in the south of the island of Skye, and was the chosen location, having had the hospital there for some time. There is another hospital in the north of Skye, in Portree, which many regard as the capital of Skye, and is indeed the capital of Skye, and to the site of the high school. But this particular location serves a wide geographic area, including Wester Ross and Lochailshire on the mainland, as well as the island of Skye.
Thanks, Chair.
Any further questions?
Boyd, can I come in? Is that all right?
Is that Heidi? Yes.
It is, yeah. So Boyd, very similar really to Graham's question. We're not going to offend anybody if we drop the McKinnon Memorial title, are we? I don't know who McKinnon is actually, I have to say.
That's a good point, Heidi. The McKinnon family were the benefactors for the original hospital, for the current hospital. And there was quite a bit of discussion at the meeting, the panel meeting in Portree last week, about commemorating certain individuals who had given distinguished service to health and care in Skye and Lochailshire and Wester Ross. And that was one aspect of it, that we should retain that connection with the McKinnon Memorial in some form in the new premises. There are a number of rooms that could be called after distinguished servants of the health and care service and could commemorate the McKinnon family for their largesse.
Okay. Lovely, thanks.
And I think the panel agreed with the suggestions from the community that it would inevitably be called Broadford Hospital as it is at present, and that we went for what might seem kind of mundane name, but best to go with what people will actually call it, and that's the outcome. Although there were, as you see, 57 varieties of suggestion that came forward. I think the process worked well, worked satisfactorily, and we have a clear recommendation to the board. Is the board, Pam, you wanted to come in? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's a really important milestone, isn't it, for the local community? And having visited the site and the hospital, almost in completion, the views from it and the the rooms that people will be recovering in or having active treatment in have a wonderful view across the bay and of Broadford. So it does seem like a very natural alliance, and I think it is important, just as Heidi asked and as Boyd said, that we are going to continue to acknowledge the previous benefactors and within that, and that we will find a good way to do that. But it is a really significant milestone, and in a sense, if you stand in the building and look at the view, the name really just describes it well, because that's exactly what you see when you're standing physically in the building. So I think it's a great milestone. It's some facility. I was hugely impressed, and I think this is a really important day.
Thanks, Pam. And also just to say that the expected date of completion, Deborah, is about the middle of October.
Middle of October, yes. Around about the 22nd of October, we think. But give or take a few days, I should imagine. And
realistically, we intended to be operational at the beginning of next year.
That's right, yes. So there will be a handover period and a snagging period, but the view is that the hospital will be open probably in the new year. If we can bring that date forward, then we will. But I mean, we'd rather be conservative at this stage and exceed expectations rather than breach expectations.
So, as Pam said, this is a major milestone for health and care services in Skye and Lahalsh and Wester Ross. Is the board happy to approve the recommendation of the panel? Thumbs up all around. Thank you very much. Well, that completes the business of this particular meeting, short and sweet. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
We move on shortly we hand over shortly to Deirdre, I think.
Hi everybody. Listen, I have just checked, and there is a separate joining meeting arrangement for the next part for the audit committee, and I'm just wondering whether we need to come out of this one to join the other one actually, and if that's wrong, forgive me. But
no, that's fine. It's quite right, Heidi. I was trying to alert Boyd to that just before he left. So yeah, we do need to leave this one and join again.
Okay, no problem. See you there.
Thank you.